So, we just got a new gameplay trailer of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I was kind of expecting it, to be honest, because last time something similar happened with Assassin's Creed Mirage, that Ubisoft released another trailer before the actual Ubisoft event. But anyways, we get to see the actual graphics of the game and obviously the gameplay itself. The graphics do look a little bit improved in this game, but I would need to see gameplay walkthrough so that we can clearly see how it looks while we are actually playing the game. Remember the difference, right? This is not the actual gameplay walkthrough, it's just a gameplay trailer. There's a difference, right, guys? So there's a difference, you need to keep that in mind. We are not actually in the POV of a guy who is actually playing the game. We are just seeing from the top of it, but still the graphics are gonna be similar to the actual game. So it is basically in-engine. Now we are gonna see the gameplay walkthrough tomorrow in Ubisoft Forward event, or maybe today in my time. It's on 10th June, by the way, so keep that in mind, guys. It seems that this time they have focused a lot more on the gameplay, and I see a lot of gameplay changes this time, and I'm gonna mention that as well in this video. But before that, I would appreciate a like on this video, and feel free to subscribe to this channel if you want more Assassin's Creed Shadows or any Assassin's Creed content in general. But anyways, so what are the things we can see in this trailer? First, we get the shot of a town, and it is between some mountains, and it looks like there's gonna be a lot of mountains in this game, as we saw in the artwork of the game itself. It is a footage of spring season, and if you guys don't know, this game is gonna have different seasons. For example, there's gonna be summer, winter, autumn, and obviously spring. And also depending on the season, the playstyle is also gonna change. Then we also have some shots of what it looks like to be a monastery in the winter season. Now here you can see the guy who is walking down there. He's wearing a specific type of clothing that can only be worn in winter, obviously, right? He's not gonna wear that in a summertime, otherwise you know what's gonna happen. So they have taken all these things into consideration this time, and as you can see how it impacts the overall world. The snow is clotting on the top of the buildings as well as the trees. Then we have this amazing looking shot where you can actually see the density of the area in terms of the people as well as the objects that are present. For example, the trees, the grass, there's like so much density, right? And the overall environment in general looks really pleasing right here. The water also looks really solid. From what I can see, it looks really good in my opinion. I don't know what changes they have done with the graphics of the water. There's actually like a specific department for graphics programming in the company. So I don't know what they have done, but let's see. I'm hoping to see tomorrow a lot more. Then we finally get to see Naoe standing, and I don't know where she's sitting, but that looks like a cool shot. That's why they put it right there. Then she starts narrating about her background a little bit, and she talks about the conflict of the samurais with her. And the samurais, if you guys saw the previous trailer, the cinematic trailer, you saw how the samurais destroyed her village, and that is obviously gonna make someone angry, right? And it is probably gonna be a revenge plot, as it is there in other Assassin's Creed games as well. And she mentions her father by whom she gets trained, and this is what she was training for, and you can clearly see how good she is because of her father. And her father is a pretty known guy, and he was actually a historical guy. So we get to see about her more in this whole scene, and while she is talking about all these things, we get to see different types of enemies as well. And I feel like the costume design is done really good of these guys, these enemies. The overall costume design is good in my opinion. Like everyone looks really, swagged up. And she also then proceeds to talk about the samurai and how they actually talk about peace while doing war at the same time. And what you can get from this is that she is talking about the unification process that was happening in the Sengoku period. If you guys have watched my Assassin's Creed Shadows breakdown, I have mentioned there that the game is going to be set around the Sengoku period, where all the daimyos, the feudal lords, were trying to unify the country and put it under a shogun. And if you guys have watched the Shogun, you know it. Now further, she goes on to kill different samurais, and we see the hidden blade. And the most important thing that comes here is the parkour, guys, and this is the most important thing to me personally, because this is what separates Assassin's Creed to other games. And then we see the hook blade that was shown in the cinematic trailer, and we get to see how it is going to be used here. That is going to be a major component of the parkour. The parkour movement overall looks really good and natural this time, unlike the previous RPG Assassin's Creed games. Look at how when she uses the hook blade, she swings in a very fluid way, and the way she drops on that building, it looks actually natural and not like it was there in the RPG Assassin's Creed games. And in the next shot, when she jumps from a building to the ground, it also looks really good that she drops in a very natural way. So I feel like like the reason why this looks a lot more natural and fluid this time is because they have actually done mocap in my opinion, and I don't know if that is actually done, but it looks like they have done mocap this time. But still, I was hoping to see more of the parkour because we did not actually see the climbing. You know how now it climbs different buildings and stuff like that. They just showed this little part where, you know, she's using the hook blade and then she jumps on the ground. That is all, nothing else. So tomorrow I would like to see it more, fingers crossed. And then we get to see the classic hidden blade she shows to the guy. I don't know who that guy is, but maybe that guy can be Yasuke. I don't know now, so I cannot comment on that. Now in this video, they actually did not show the Tanto version of the hidden blade, by the way. And if you guys don't know, Tanto is a Japanese weapon that was used for assassinations, and it was also used to commit suicide. That was called seppuku, and that was a form of honorable death. If you guys have seen Shogun TV series, you know you can relate a lot with this game. There's two different types of hidden blade. One, the normal version, another would be the Tanto version. So the Tanto version, she will actually pull out the hidden blade and then flip it 90 degrees to make it like a Tanto. And in the last part of the cinematic trailer, that's how she kills that guy that is supposedly gonna be a Templar, in my opinion. Then we see some more running movements and nothing much, but obviously we get to see the leap of faith, and as always, that is gonna be the thing in every Assassin's Creed game. That is the signature of Assassin's Creed. We finally switch to Yasuke, and boom, he breaks the door. That's how his entry is. They are establishing from the beginning itself that Yasuke is a guy no one should mess with head to head. Then he seems to fight other samurais, and I can't tell what samurai clans are they, but if you guys have knowledge about that, feel free to tell me in the comment section. And then obviously it is Yasuke, so we expected some combat moves. The combat looks brutal in this game. Obviously there was brutality and gore in Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well, but there is a lot more in this game in my opinion. It is intensified, and one of the scenes you can see that Yasuke actually decapitates a guy, so that is a lot, so you know what you're signing up for. The combat looks kind of a mix of, you would say, Odyssey and Ghost of Tsushima in my opinion. Like the way he's using his swords, like the swiftness, it feels like Ghost of Tsushima, and on the other hand, the way he's breaking the defense, it looks like of Odyssey, right? And if you guys don't know, this game is made by the team that was made by Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It is Ubisoft Quebec. We also see different weapons, and by the way, the guy who is narrating the background is probably Oda Nobunaga in my opinion, but I'm not sure about it. The way he talks, it looks like he's a mentor of Yasuke, so based on that, I'm assuming. Now finally, you know, we get to see Naoe and Yasuke both together, and I don't know how they get united, but we are gonna see that in the story itself. We further get to see more combat, and if you guys were previously keeping an eye on Assassin's Creed Shadows, then you probably would know about the destructible environments. And yes, you can actually destroy different objects and props in this game. We get to see it throughout this, like Yasuke Spartan kicks a guy. Well, maybe the name would be different, but you know, it would be some other kick. But anyways, the guy that gets kicked impacts some part of the house that is behind him. He destroys some part of the house, and you know, obviously the house is of the wood, so it can happen, but to be honest, I don't know how realistic it is, but it is indeed sick in my opinion. Now the same thing we see in Naoe in a different fashion, that Naoe is using Kusarigama, and while she is engaging with a guy in combat, the nearby bamboo trees are getting chopped off because of the Kusarigama. And I feel like there's gonna be certain objects in this game that are gonna be destroyed by the Kusarigama, or you know, the weapons of Yasuke, depending on how fragile the objects are gonna be. For example, if there's a big tree, I don't know how that's gonna happen. Maybe Yasuke can do that with his weapons, but let's see if it's gonna be realistic enough, you know. The thing is how good it's gonna look and how good it is gonna be implemented in the game. And the overall combat with the Kusarigama looks fire in my opinion. Hoping to see more tomorrow. Then we also get to see Yasuke using Kanabo. Now the next thing is pretty interesting in my opinion, and we saw this in this trailer, that Naoe is using a kunai to destroy the lights. And you can actually destroy lights in this game in order to create darkness in that area so that enemies don't have proper sight. You can obviously be more stealthy in that sort of area. Just like Splinter Cell. If you guys have played Splinter Cell, this was kind of similar in that, and Splinter Cell is obviously from Ubisoft as well. This information was also known from before if you guys were keeping an eye on this game. And finally, we get to see some closing ending shots where both Yasuke and Naoe are standing together, and what it looks like to be a mission where they are gonna infiltrate a place together. And I don't know if this black and white sort of thing in the ending is gonna be in the game, or maybe it is just for the trailer. Maybe it's some sort of ability that makes the screen like this, but I don't have any information regarding that, you know. So there's gonna be a lot of things that we're gonna get to know tomorrow, and I hope they properly show the gameplay walkthrough of the game so that it covers almost everything the fans were requesting about. And obviously the release date is gonna be 15th of November, and it also shows that Ubisoft Forward event is gonna have the gameplay walkthrough reveal of this game, and it is gonna be on the 10th of June, that is tomorrow, at the time I'm making this video. So guys, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. By the way, what do you think about this gameplay trailer personally? Do you think it exceeded your expectations or it did not? In my opinion, it was not like a lot, but it was pretty good in my opinion. I don't have any problems with it. It's not like really surprising or something, because a lot of these things we knew, and I cannot actually comment exactly on the graphics because again we have to see the actual gameplay walkthrough to judge the graphics of the game, and tomorrow it's gonna happen. Make sure to like this video and consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.